Have you ever felt like your life is falling apart right when you're trying to do everything right? You're praying, you're showing up, you're trying to obey God, and somehow things keep getting harder, not easier. I want to show you something today that might completely change the way you see your current season. There's a pattern that shows up again and again in Scripture, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. When God wanted to raise up a king, he didn't hand a young shepherd boy a crown. He handed him a giant. David didn't get a coronation. He got Goliath, a 9-foot problem standing between him and his calling. And it was in that valley, with everyone else terrified and frozen, that David discovered who he actually was. The crown came later. The giant came first. When God wanted to elevate a teenager named Joseph to run a nation, he didn't give him a shortcut to the palace. He gave him a pit, a false accusation, and years in an Egyptian prison. From the outside, it looked like Joseph's life was over before it even started. But every single thing he learned in that prison, patience, leadership, integrity under pressure, became exactly what he needed to lead a nation through famine. When God wanted to position Esther to save an entire people, he didn't give her comfort. He gave her a crisis. A young woman suddenly thrust into a palace, facing a decision that could cost her everything. And it was in that crisis, not in comfort, that her courage and her purpose were revealed. When God wanted to raise up the man who would lead Israel out of slavery, he didn't put Moses on a stage. He sent him into the wilderness for 40 years, tending sheep, completely forgotten, far from the spotlight. And it was in that obscurity that God shaped the humility and the dependence Moses would need to lead millions of people and still listen to God instead of his own ego. Do you see the pattern? Every single time, the breaking came before the building. The struggle came before the strength. So if you're in a season right now where it feels like everything is being stripped away, your comfort, your plans, maybe even your confidence, I want to gently suggest something to you. What if this isn't God abandoning you? What if this is exactly how God has always worked? He doesn't usually hand people what they want. He gives them what they need to become who he's calling them to be. That doesn't mean the pain isn't real. It is real. Grief is real. Disappointment is real. Waiting is real. But Scripture tells us that God works all things, even the hard things, even the unfair things, together for the good of those who love him. Not that every individual thing is good, but that he is able to take the broken pieces and build something with them that you couldn't have built any other way. So here's what I want you to do today. Take whatever your current giant is, your current pit, your current wilderness, and instead of asking God, why is this happening to me? Try asking him a different question. Ask him, God, what are you building in me right now? That single shift in posture, from victim to student, from fighting God to listening to him, is where real transformation starts. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And the very thing that feels like it's breaking you today might be the exact thing God uses to build the version of you that fulfills everything he's called you to do. If this encouraged you, hit subscribe, drop a comment telling me what giant you're facing right now, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today.